Well, I'm out. Pierce woke up in an asylum, installed in the cellars of the Riverside Institute. He met Dr. Colden, a female friend of Bradley who helped him to escape. Wandering through the corridors of this place where Dr. Fuller reigned supreme. Pierce was able to. Oh, there was a comma there. Pierce was able to talk to a man called Francis Sanders. Before dying in full view of the detective, he accused Sarah Hawkins of being the cause of his torments. Pierce finally left the accursed building, accompanied by Bradley and Colden. I'm not putting these commas in. The companions in misfortune decided to use the Hawkins mansion as a hideout. Bad idea, methinks. Hi. Hello. Evil squid.
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
I don't think you do. I think you should stop with the alcohol and, just not do it. Okay, so I've got 8 points. I don't know. I think investigation seems to be the way forward because I keep getting stuck on certain locks and things like that. So I will go for investigation. I thought that statue was looking at me.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Like shit.
Did I sleep long?
The day's only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
Well, he died and...
I saw people in hoods. They had stolen Mrs. Hawkins' paintings.
Who are you talking about? Why would they do such a thing?
I don't know, but they were a threat. They've taken over the caves under the mansion. They were performing some kind of ritual. One of the entryways was under Charles Hawkins' office.
We suspect Mr. Hawkins of being involved.
My patients believe the old islanders used to worship primitive sea gods. Could they be the focus of the cult?
Am I hearing this right?
So you think me gullible?
No, not at all.
What else did you uncover, Mr. Pierce?
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was that doctor.
Whilst he's giving some backstory, I've got a bit of a theory in
Blood
regards to what's happened.
everywhere.
So I don't think
My
Bradley
legs,
was actually there,
Pain. I couldn't
and it
bear
was the
it.
beginning
I
of
was
his
They injected me with something.
hallucinations.
I woke
So
up.
he's
at the
hallucinated
instant.
him dying, and
Bradley
he's actually
was there.
alive, and that's why.
And how you
This is
scared
happening.
us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr.
Yeah,
Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did
She's
you
seen it
discover
as well.
anything else?
I found a Darkwater PD badge. Lost a colleague recently?
What the...
Bradley.
Ethan?
I'm all right. I just had it's gone.
You're sure?
If it's important, it'll come back. But I can't explain why Dr. Fuller would have that badge.
The man's a danger, believe me.
What can we do, Pierce?
I heard you talking earlier.
This is where
Why
I
am
failed
I
the
not
role,
surprised?
quote unquote.
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway,
Nope.
let's get back to the business at hand.
I failed that.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Oh,
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
so maybe not.
I went to visit
hallucination.
you at the hospital and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel.
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if
He looks
knew
like a
we were
generic
snooping
video
around.
game villain,
I
essentially.
know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
Artists, maybe? I don't know.
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes, I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan, and I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
I've got nothing else, unfortunately.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
He decided to float and then
I didn't
got
see
smushed
what,
into the ground.
but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector.
One thing
I guess you can still pay
I
a
don't
visit
like
to
when you
his
do
wife,
multiple choices, it
Irene
doesn't seem to
Sanders.
exactly
An
point
art
out
collector, you say? That's
what
probably how they met.
choice you've made.
If you plan
Like
on
it
having
mentions
dinner
the
at the
Shambler
Sanders
there.
household,
Didn't mention the
please
Shambler
spare
in
the
what you
widow
just
the
said.
tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to
Okay.
see Francis's widow.
So my destiny has
Perhaps
been
I'll
affected.
find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Okay. Do I leave this way? Yeah, we'll go this way. Pierce, Colden, and Bradley decided to team up to solve the Hawkins case. They have a new trail to follow. Francis Sanders, an art collector and friend of the painter who died right in front of Pierce. The detective goes to his house in order to speak to his widow about the Shambler that the unfortunate man mentioned before he died. Okay, so he's probably got a bugger load of her artwork then. And probably all turning him crazy, more than likely.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well.
Oh
Look
dear.
who's here.
Madam Happy has appeared.
You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
Well, you see, he decided to do a backflip and float around the room before murdering himself.
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah
That's all
Hawkins and
he talked
paintings.
about. That's a subtitle error.
Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present
He was
when he
dead.
had this attack? What happened?
Yes. And he died. I want to choose that one. I so want to choose that one. Oh, I'll do that.
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He
Why is the
suffers
camera
no
like
longer,
floating all
if
over the
you will
place?
allow me such a platitude.
Of course. course. Thank you for your kind words. Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
Well, let's try it.
It's terrible what happened to your husband, but I had nothing to do with it. I was injured, and I came across him in the hospital quite by chance.
Injured? Well, I'm delighted to see you in such fine fettle, Detective. Not everybody enjoyed such a prompt recovery.
I suppose Fuller does do miracles now and again.
Luck is obviously very kind to you. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me,
Alright,
and then
rude.
leave.
I deduce that your husband already mentioned this dimensional shambler.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
Do I have
It
to?
is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
I should have really been honest with her and just gone, yeah, by the way, he was screaming his head off when
Did
he
you
died.
really care for him after all?
Dear madam, I acknowledge receipt of the letter in which you demand the body of your deceased husband. I am sorry to inform you that I cannot agree to return his body. At the moment of his interment, you signed a discharge, allowing me to dispose of his body as I see fit. I extend my deepest condolences to you. Thomas Fuller. So he's an asshole, and she's a wench. Bitch, whatever.
The day the shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
Oh, wow. That... Ooh, hang on. Bright lights. Psychology over a cup of
Francis
tea.
Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even? A house of artists. A house of artists.
Alright, no need to repeat yourself.
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
Okay.
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? She first refused to sell the painting. How did that make her feel? She despises Sarah Hawkins, but it's the painting she truly hates. Why?
Have you seen it? Oh, okay.
The shambler. I need to see it.
After knowing that, you still want to see it, you lunatic.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
An audio recording Francis Sanders left for his wife, Irene. Phonograph.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it.
I'll do it.
He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more.
Oh, he's not
I
done.
can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Sorry. Well, I'm not going to listen to it again. She's already suffered enough. Not there. So a little bit of a wonder, why not? See what we can find. It's a weird painting, but okay. Where's Cat gone? Oh yeah, there.
The strange Amerindian pendant.
Is that more occultism? Okay. I think we're doing alright in that.
I could use one of those.
I found these sleeping pills in the Sanders house. Were they prescribed to Francis Sanders or to Irene?
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Dear Francis, I beg you to give up all hope of ever owning this accursed painting. If our friendship has any meaning for you, please spare me the weight of guilt. I cannot be the architect of your fall. I beg you, my dear friend, forget the shambler. Your friend, Sarah Hawkins.
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
It's getting everywhere. This volume spends some time on Reverend Wickwood's community. His wife expresses her worries about the strange dream that the Reverend's congregation are having since their arrival on the island. Some members of the community, her husband included, began to speak of their vision as a messenger sent by God. She is scared they will suffer the same fate as the lost tribe. Strength. Oh. Okay, so if it had failed, what would that have done? Would you read the book? Well, yeah, go on. Is a kind of encyclopedia of monstrous and unknown creatures. I'm beginning to believe that they exist. It will affect my destiny. And give me more occultism, I think. Okay, extra 5%.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
Yes, honest. A dissertation on an anatomical question. It is the work of a student in book form. Although the observations are relevant, they lack the expertise of an experienced physician. However, the questions asked allow us to imagine new ways of exploring the human anatomy. Increase in medicine? Yes, I'll do. I worry about this painting. Completely.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Just while I'm exploring here, once again, thank you very much for sticking with me throughout tonight's stream. We're an hour and 50 minutes into it. Only an hour and 10 minutes ago, but thank you for sticking with me during this point.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Okay. That's going to be interesting. Is that all you're going to do?
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
I'm not going to look too much at the painting because I know that'll just trigger the next scene.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Yeah, we've seen it. Don't look at the painting. Don't look at the painting. Okay. That is the painting. That is just... dude, you might want to move. Uh-oh. Well.
What the hell was that?
Uh-oh. I'm probably gonna die here. Because I can't remember this fight. Grab some sort of weapon?
Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger.
Kill the painting.
Damn it. This dagger didn't work.
Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Definitely not. Have to come out. He's gonna get me. Oh, hi! Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Are you? Damn it.
Damn it.
Well, yep.
I have to use a specific dagger.
wish I'd spotted the right one. I don't know. Find a cupboard to hide in. Yeah, I know the cupboard trick, but nope. Where is it? I mean, nope. I'm choosing every one but the right dagger. Oh, fuck. That looks wrong. Doesn't help I can't see it either. Oh. Right. What is this? Well, I'm dead. Shit. Well, you know. Oh, do I have to start from here again? Okay.
What the hell was that?
I know I've got to look for a specific dagger. Well, I don't know if I can find it. That's the problem. I may die a few times trying to find this out. Oh dear. Right. So from what I saw, oh, sweet bejeebus, it's not in the other room. It's in this room. Probably gonna again. I'm probably gonna die. Hi. Run.
Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger.
Sounds promising. Go, 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 go. Wrong.
Damn it! This dagger didn't work.
Any suggestions? Any clues? Any idea? I've literally tried to check. I don't know where it is. I'm literally trying to check all daggers. I don't know. It's not that one. Not that one either. I'm gonna die. I can't find the right dagger. I get like a couple of seconds to look at it. He's right behind me. Oh, come on. Find the fucking dagger. Problem is the music kicks up. Okay, put the fucking thing away. Come. I don't know. I thought it was that one. Again, I get a couple of seconds to look and then I've just got to run for it. It's not in there. It's not that one. I don't think it's the one I've got hold of. Oh shit. I don't know. Which one to use. I don't even know where he is. Oh, he's there. I see him. I'm just gonna be running around in circles for the next fucking amount of time. Come on! Oh shit. I got no oh shit. No, 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 no. I can't remember which ones I've chosen, which ones I haven't. Well, God damn it. I don't know which one is the right one. Right. Let's try again.
What the hell was that?
Okay, so I'm gonna have to do it where I try every single dagger, because I have no earthly idea.
Maybe I can use this dagger.
Just hope he's not coming this way. Yeah, he is. It's near a gold statue. Okay. I mean, it doesn't help when there's about 6 gold statues. He's behind me. He's going to kill me again, I know.
Damn it.
Shit, he's there. I mean, that's a golden plate, but I don't...
This dagger looks different.
Maybe that's the one. Yep, that's the one. Oh.
What's the matter with you?
He's gone mad, has he?
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Sanders was right. This painting is cursed.
What are you talking about?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
This symbol on the dagger, it was all over Sanders' cell. It's what protected him. It's what protected me, too.
I should have noticed that,
If
but it's
Hawkins
difficult
was
to get
trying
a
to get
shot
rid
in.
of this shambler, she might have made
looker in.
contact with Drake. This antique dealer has a good knowledge of the occult. I have nothing to lose by meeting him.
You've got your spunk back. Go where you want. I'm staying here to talk business with Irene.